So now for what we did on my ninth day up here. There's a very sweet elderly couple in their 70s or 80s up on the mountain, almost at the very top. And they have a cabin that was built in 1938. It is, I think, the third oldest cabin on the entire mountain. And they just they had a little stream in front of their house and a bridge that was going across it, and it really wasn't nearly as dramatic, but when all the rain hit, it really expanded, and so it ended up washing away their bridge and a shed and basically all the ground that the front of their house was sitting on. So their house was basically just hovering, suspended. And it was just a real precarious situation because it's such an old place, and the bottom of the floor was beams, trees, and it wasn't even any wood. It was just trees. It wasn't anything cut or milled. It was just solid, like a log cabin style, and that was the base. And so originally, right after they built it, I guess there was some kind of blast that happened and dropped it 7 inches. So the house wasn't level to begin with, but then it became even worse when the storm came through and washed away basically the front of it. So we undertook the task of trying to shore up the front of the house and put concrete footings in. And there was another group that was there working at the same time as us that had put in a bridge, and they were just absolutely miraculous. They were amazing workers, and the poor people, they were having to go down basically a cliff and scale down a cliff and then walk across this rocky river and then scale up another cliff in order to get their firewood and their supplies and their everything. And they were doing it and just weren't even really telling anybody. And so they just needed help, and so we did all we could to try and help them. And like I said, there was another group there that was building a bridge. I'm not exactly sure where they were from. I think they might have said Iowa, but they were all completely volunteer and all out of pocket. They paid for the bridge and everything out of pocket and just went up there and did it all on their own. It was really just a wonderful kind thing that they did, and came out and put all that work and effort and even brought heavy machinery. But we took on the task of trying to shore up the front of the house. Daniel Babermeyer was up here with one of his guys, Jason, and they just were up here working their hearts out, man. And Daniel, I know I said his name wrong in a different video, and I apologize, but this was just the first chance I really got to meet him and talk to him. Met him briefly once before, and he came up here to work, and I can't tell him how much I appreciate it, and all the hard work he put in. So he's a carpenter by trade. I am not. I am a floor guy, a septic guy, a driver of any kind. I mean, I've got a little experience doing a bit of everything, but I do not call myself a carpenter, or don't claim to be in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I could probably figure it out good enough for me in most circumstances, but like I said, I do not call myself a carpenter. So yeah, Daniel is a very hardworking, intelligent young man, and he knows his way around stuff, and so he just took the lead and pointed us on where to go. And even though I had a sprained ankle, I crawled all over them rocks and was able to pack stuff in and out. And my name was Mud for the day. I mixed concrete all day long with the wheelbarrow and shovel, and just filled in all the footings that they formed up. And yeah, we just worked together and just did great things on the front of that house and shored it all up and made it level. I don't have pictures of it before, but it was way out of whack. I can't even express how much it was just hanging on to the side of the hill. Maybe one day I'll be able to post some pictures of it before, but we know it's not perfect. We just did what we could with what we had, and there's just nobody else to do it. So we had to take initiative and do whatever we could to fix it with the time we had and the resources we had available. Daniel had unfortunately just brought tree work tools and like chainsaws and stuff like that, and didn't really bring anything to do carpentry work, as he was just planning on doing tree work the whole entire time he was here. I had some tools and he did have some tools still, but we were just limping along with the bare necessities and the bare batteries, and we barely had enough stuff and essentials to be able to make it happen, but we did make it happen. Plus, I feel I could have worked a lot harder if I didn't have a sprained ankle. We didn't have time to get to everything we wanted to. We wanted to build rails and shore up the steps and just do a lot more than we did, but we only had so much time, so we just took care of the essential stuff of bracing up the house and bracing up the deck and just making sure it wouldn't go fall away, and we just hammer drilled into the rock and poured concrete and made it happen. We were able to shore it all up and make it to where it wasn't going to fall off the hillside there. I can't thank Daniel and Jason enough, both, for their extremely hard work and just for coming up here and working so hard and just putting so much effort and heart into everything they did. They're just the absolute bomb, and I appreciate them so much. And yeah, he wasn't even planning on coming here. He was just doing his own adventure, and I kind of threw a call out, and he heard it and decided to come here. And I really appreciate those guys so much. They're just great humans, and it was a pleasure meeting them and being able to work with them and be a part of it. But yeah, that was my 9th day up here on the mountain in North Carolina.